everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie. It is dropped on Netflix called The Perfumer, and in this movie you see this detective who doesn't have any sense of smell, like she can't smell anything, and she is in relationship with her partner detective who is married and have kids. And when we find out in this movie, he's like going back to his wife and kid. This detective who was working on this case for this person who's make perfume out of dead people. In this movie you see he makes this perfume, it has this effect on people, makes him crazy, makes them do crazy thing in this movie. And when this detective find a serial killer's perfume and she start using it, and she tried to use like for herself, and she tried to get back with her boyfriend in this movie, then to get to the next level, basically she team up with this serial killer in this movie. She basically asked him to somehow regain her sense of smell in this movie. Like that is what this movie is about. Like she basically go to a serial killer, he's killing all these women to like get help from him. And this movie, it is like, it when I was watching it, I'm gonna be honest here, the plot I did found very interesting at the beginning of this movie. Like I was like, ooh, this is really interesting, this perfume is making you, but after a while this movie gets ridiculously you have to suspense all your belief. Like, how is this guy? I guess I'm talking about spoiler here. So spoiler warning if you have not seen the movie, because whenever I say anything, people get offended. I'm saying a spoiler. It's not really that spoiler, but I guess in this movie case, it's spoiler. So I have to ask, like, how is this serial killer he has so much sense of smell. He can sense, like he can smell this detective is alive. She's pregnant, how many weeks she's pregnant. He knows all of this thing in this movie. When you watch it, you really feel it's ridiculous. How does he knows all this thing? Really, I didn't like buy any of this thing. Again, the plot was engaging because I guess this show, it is based on a show. Like there used to be a series name also Perfume. I have not seen that show, but this movie, it is like story is taken from that show, what I was reading about it. And this detective lady, like so many times you want her to do the right thing in this movie, but unfortunately she never does. She never do the right thing in this movie. She just works with this serial killer to get back to her boyfriend who she's having an affair with. This is how so many level wrong. That's what the point of this movie, I guess. This movie is really ask you to suspense your belief a lot. Like how is he able to smell all this thing? And when he was little in this movie, he had this problem. Like he thought like he smelled so bad that people didn't wanna get close to him, and yet that's why he was trying to create this perfume, and he wanted to call it like love perfume, and that is why he was killing all these women. And first of all, how is this guy was able to make perfume like that? Is he went to a college? Does he have a scientist degree or anything? Like who gave him anything? Like this doesn't make any sense. Like when you watch it, totally like doesn't make any of this sense. When at the end of this movie, I was like, oh man, that didn't make any sense. That is what I was telling myself. Although I did found this movie to be engaging simply because of the plot. I never I guess because I didn't read anything about it. I thought the plot was definitely going it was definitely engaging. But end of this movie, I really feel like fool watching it and believing it. And acting is I guess the serial killer who can't find love. First of all, he's not that, he doesn't looks like a serial killer. I guess he's this lonely guy, and he does exactly so predictable all his action in this movie. End of this movie, he falls in love with the detective, and I was like, what? He tried to kill her so many times. That didn't make any sense. Yeah, this movie will not make any sense. Somehow the plot is very engaging. I guess acting isn't that good, and all the other side character in this movie, they do nothing. They have no common sense or nothing. This detective was doing all this thing. How they didn't suspect her or nothing? Like she just stole the perfume bottle. Okay, maybe the way she stole it, maybe it makes sense that, but there was no backup or nothing. In real world, does it work like that? I don't think so. Really, it's really made a believe type of movie, and I thought, oh wow, it wasn't a waste of my time. That's the thing about this movie. I guess I had an okay time watching it, but I don't recommend checking it out because it will make you feel like, what did you just watch? And that was my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. And if you checked my this review, don't forget my other review on other Germany movie. I see all of them. I'm waiting for news about this Germany show came out a couple of years ago. It's called Barbarian. I don't know when is this show coming out or if they're making season 2. If you know, let me know in the comment. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. And until I see you next time, please take care.